Hey everybody, this is Haeravon,
And Nocturnia.
and we just want to babble like a bunch of squealing fanboys and girls about the Bethesda conference.
Hooray, Bethesda!
I don't normally watch conferences, but this was... I couldn't resist
Fucking
it.
amazing!
Yeah, now that I kind of make money doing this, and I'm slotted to write for Fallout 4, I hope anyway, I assume. I don't give a shit, I'm writing about it for
Regardless.
someone at some point, sometime. So yeah, I was keeping an eye on Fallout 4, and yeah, wow, did Bethesda deliver? We're not even gonna try and structure this, are we? We're just gonna chat about all the cool shit that we saw and just sit here and go, oh my god, that was awesome.
Yeah, I guess that works.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess we can go chronologically, but if we jump around, just keep in mind that we are just...
Are we gonna go chronologically for
Through the
whole conference, or
Well,
just
I
Fallout?
mean, some things. Like, what was that game they talked about after Doom? I already forgot its name.
Battle?
Yeah, who gives a
Or was it
who
the
gives a
Elder
crap?
Scrolls? I don't actually remember the order.
No, but no, I mean, if we jump around, we are dedicated amateurs, so don't expect there to be any framing. We're just going to babble. First up was Doom, which honestly I didn't care too much about. They made so many mediocre Doom games in the past. I haven't really played Doom since Doom 2. I had Doom 3 on the original Xbox, but I think I played it like twice. I spent $5 on it, and I didn't even get that money's worth. But I'll admit that trailer they showed at the conference looked pretty sweet. Ludicrous Gibbs, right?
You can chainsaw demon faces. You can rip a demon's fucking head into tiny little bits.
Now, I want to preface this by saying that apparently this was all too scary for some members of the SJW community. So I'm not going to mansplain anymore. I feel I might step over my bounds, and having another dedicated gamer dude talk about, oh, the awesome violence, we've heard it a million times. So I think, Nocturnia, do you want to just have some fun rolling around in the glorious violence?
Somebody might need to explain to Anita that there are multiple different markets for things. I don't know. She doesn't seem to understand how merchandising works. I can put it in something she might understand. Stupid hoop earrings. She wears stupid hoop earrings. And within the market of hoop earrings, there are multiple different kinds. There's the tiny little hoops, like, I don't know, I wear a tiny little silver hoop on the top of my ear. Then there's the little gold hoops that you see on, like, private schoolgirls. Then there's the big, giant, fucking circus hoops that lions can jump through that she wears. Different markets. Whereas in the gaming, she wants to play little puzzle games with cute little gummy bear looking things that you can't even tell what it is, with bright, shiny colors, and, well, those are fun. To an extent. But I'd rather chainsaw fucking demon's head in half. Sorry, that's just my preference. That's my market. Your market are the cute little gummy bears.
Well, did you see the Scythian? That's apparently one of her ideal protagonists.
Yeah.
Six gray blocks stacked on top of each other and called a female.
Which could be either thing.
Speaking of our unadulterated amateurism, segueing into Dishonored, since we're kind of going into that ground, playing as a male or female protagonist, which you can also do in Fallout, by the way. Apparently that's too much diversity for Anita.
How dare you have choices? Look, I don't want to play Emily. I want to play Corvo. I like playing men. I like having the option to play men. Haeravon likes to play women. He likes having the option to play women. We can both play a game if you have both genders.
I know, isn't options and diversity, aren't they great like that? Apparently fucking not, though.
Well, if you have a female protagonist option, you shouldn't have a male protagonist because it undermines the female somehow in some ways that it is anti-feminine.
Now, see, I don't even get this whole argument. I'm a big RPG guy. If you're on this YouTube channel, if you've read any of my stuff, you know. So I've been playing games like Fallout 3 and Mass Effect and Baldur's Gate and all these games, and in every single one of them, you can choose your protagonist. So this whole women are underrepresented in gaming thing, I don't know, it kind of came out of nowhere, and when I heard it, I just shook my head, and I was like, no, they're not. I mean, if you exclude every game that gives you a choice, yeah, okay, maybe.
Yeah, they do.
But that's kind of a bullshit way to go about it, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, and yeah, I prefer playing a female protagonist. I don't know why. It didn't always used to be that way. I think it's because my standards for a male... when I create a male protagonist, they have to look just exactly so. Like, I want to make one of my D&D characters. I think that's... I started out trying to make, like, Haeravon, the character based off of D&D, in video games. I could never get him just right. And so, for some reason, my standards for what a female protagonist should look like aren't quite as high. Because I don't usually like many of the male stereotypes in gaming. The big, beefy, bald dude. I mean, it's not going to stop me from playing a game, but that's not the character I would create. And if I can't create the exact male I want, I'll default to a female who I think is just an intrinsically more interesting character in the game, and it's more fun to play dress up.
And if they're voiced really well, like Mass Effect.
Jennifer fucking Hale.
Look, I can't even play Mass Effect without playing Haeravon's character because I cannot play male Shep. No, the voice acting is terrible, so I can't do anything but his character. And I couldn't even make my own female character because it just seemed wrong because I watched too much of his. But
yeah, sat around and watched me play through 3 games, and now it's like, no, that's not how Shepard looks. This is.
Yeah, and Jennifer Hale is fucking amazing. Just, yeah.
She is.
I don't know who voices the protagonist in Fallout 4. I would like to know that.
No, I'm sure we'll find out. I'd also, Bethesda, I know you're not listening, but I really want to list. You said that what they said at the conference that they had pre-recorded names.
Yeah, they have.
Now,
I think they said 200 or something like
I
that.
thought they said like 1,000.
I don't know.
Did they say that like? So do they mean that
no,
every?
Maybe they just said hundreds of
okay.
pre-recorded of the most popular names. Well, I don't know what that counts as because there's a lot of popular names that are boring, but. Will there be things like Xavier or
Veronica? I'd love Veronica.
I'm sure they would have.
Yeah, that'd be great.
But
So was that? Okay, we're skipping around. See, now we.
Yeah.
Hey, Doom. Now Dishonored. Now. So yeah. The protagonists, from my understanding, are going to be voiced. You can play as a male or female in Fallout 3, and. It's my understanding that they've recorded a number of different names. Is that for every dialogue situation, do you think?
I don't know if it's for every dialogue situation, but it's at least for the robot.
Okay.
And I can't remember what the name of that particular robot is.
It's a Mr. Handy, right?
Yeah, but it's got a name.
It wouldn't be necessary to have... I can't even imagine having, like, dozens of voice actors and they all have to read a line 200 times... And the other alternative was just, okay, say Sarah, say Bob, and having that, just having that inserted in lines, that would be awful. But if it's just that poor voice actor who did the robot, having to do it 10,000 times, that's enough. But it's not like everyone in the Wasteland is going to be on a first-name basis, with your character anyway. So I'm fine with that.
They might have the protagonist say all the names.
Or more important story characters, maybe. That would be awesome. But Bethesda, please give me a list of these names at some point. So I will waste time on my character, and the more you give me now, the quicker I will be able to get into the game.
Let's be honest, you're still going to spend like an entire day customizing your character.
Yes, but at least... Because when we get to the end, we're always like, okay... I've done it. 6 hours, the character is finally looking good. X button. Enter your name. Shit!
Yeah, that'll cut down on that, because you do sit there and pause it for like 4 hours trying to think of a name.
So, yeah.
But what I also would really like to know about Fallout 4 is, what are my hair color options? God damn it!
Yeah, well, I'm going to be listening to this from her for...
They only showed, like, black hair and, like, I think they showed somebody with, like, sandy brown blonde hair, but come on. I need to know.
Well,
Can I have a blue-haired character?
They didn't go through too many options in the character customization. They went through
I wish they had.
They went through a bit.
But I know before November, hopefully, we will have more videos about the character customization, because a lot of game developers do put something like that out. But
yeah, they give it to everybody, and
I want to know now. I want to know now.
I would kill to do some of those preview videos. But whatever. Maybe one day when I become an industry guy and more than 200 people know who I am.
Well, millions of people know who you are. They just won't follow you.
Yeah, hey, approaching 5 million hits on GameFAQs, so that's something. I'm sure it's the same 200 people clicking it.
Probably.
Hey assholes, just download the guide. Keep the text file on your desktop. It'll work fine.
Quit throwing off the numbers.
Yeah. No, that's fine. You actually go home tonight and click on my guides, and just click on them. Go to different computers or different, try and get on different IP addresses and just artificially inflate my hits. I don't know.
No, do that with YouTube because it's monetized.
Yeah, we get money from that. GameFAQs doesn't pay a dime because they suck. So, yeah, don't do that. If you want to support me, go to Gamer Guides and buy my stuff there and let them know that, hey, this guy makes great guides and you should pay him to make more. Yay! Actually, that's not even an issue because as far as I know, I'm pretty much booked up until... Well, now that Fallout 4 has a release date, I can pretty much guarantee 2 blocks of my life until 2016 are going to be writing nonstop for them. So, anyways, we should get back to this conference. Any more things to say about... Actually, I'm going to offer you that and take it away. The nostalgia factor on Doom was through the roof.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't really start paying attention to it too much because, like every idiot nowadays, I was sitting there on my computer just waiting for things to type about instead of actually looking.
Yeah, clearly you were not paying attention.
But then I heard that door open with that classic Doom sound, and I was just like, Grr. And I had to pay attention, at least for a little bit. And seeing so many recognizable demons... I think they had the cyber demon at the end, those big fat ones that have those 2 gun arms that shot plasma at you in the second game. Those ones. And, man, please, Bethesda, put more of the classic sound effects in there because, man, that nearly tore my heart out. I played way too much Doom 2 in Germany when I was a kid. So
I noticed the nostalgia factor with the way that the camera and everything moved.
Do you remember
perspective?
Do you remember when we got Diablo 3 and we put it in on the PlayStation 3 and they did the Tristram thumb?
No, don't.
Just like glam 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 glam. That's almost what those doors did to me. Great stuff. The game looked sweet as hell. I have no illusions that we were watching that.
You get a super chainsaw.
I have no illusions that we were watching that on a console. But just looking at that, Bethesda, downgrade the graphics. Make that game 60 frames per second, because everything I saw on that trailer screamed, I need to be at 60 frames per second.
Yeah, seriously. If you aren't, you're going to die.
I'm not a big graphics or tech whore, but there are some games that benefit from it, and some people will be like, why isn't this turn-based puzzle game at 60 frames a second? Because it doesn't frickin' matter. But Doom... From what you guys showed, that game needs to be 60 frames a second. I'm sorry. It would be so much better than pretty much every graphical lighting resolution thing you could throw on there instead. So, go for that. Some dweebs will complain about the numbers. Oh, these 900p consoles. Whatever. Make it 60 frames per second because the gameplay in the end will matter more than what P you put on the box. But yeah, I mean, we saw lots of classic demons, and it looked awesome as hell. It kind of looked Halo-ish, though. That assault rifle...
Yeah, there were some very, Halo-esque designs, I guess.
The first thing you said was that helmet?
Yeah, the helmet kind of looked, a lot like, I don't know.
Yeah, he was putting it on, and I was just like, oh, hey, look, it's Doom ODST.
The visor was shaped like the one on Halo.
But, maybe it's time for Doom to ramp up a bit. I mean, in the first game, you were just some Marine in, like, a green t-shirt.
Well, now you have power armor.
I mean, you always had a helmet. You saw at the end of the game where they showed, in Doom 2, they showed all the creatures, and then you'd, hit spacebar, and it would cycle through them, and they'd all die, and they showed the Marine at the end. But yeah, now you have power armor, and if that lets you rip monsters' faces apart, fine.
Yes, more of that. Everything that they showed us was first person, including your own death. They showed the Marine getting his arms ripped off and him being beaten to death with his own arms.
How'd you like that on a scale of 1 to 10?
I liked it on an 11. I won't like it when it happens to me inevitably in the game, but for now, I enjoyed it very much.
Dead Space did that a lot, and it actually kind of made your deaths less aggravating.
Well, yeah. Seems a little more personal.
It does, but you also are like, it's not wasting my time that I died. Instead of just going to a black screen, you are dead. It's like, shit. Well, at least I get to watch this.
Yeah, at least I get to watch my own character get dismembered horribly.
So,
which I prefer, by the way. I wasn't saying that in a negative tone.
Yeah, but then they showed some shitty, looked like a battle arena MMO. Who cares?
I can't even remember what it was called.
Then they had a trailer for
Battlefield?
Yeah, I can look it up. I posted something about it. I think my exact comment on that was to make a farting noise and a jerk-off motion, which, for the record, I did again. So if you look at my Facebook stuff and you're like, he made a fart noise, but I wonder what kind of fart noise. That's what it was. Kind of one of those wet, squishy mouth fart noises.
Yeah.
So.
I think I threw up in my mouth a little bit there.
But, well, be careful. You don't want to gross out certain SJWs. Right, they showed that stupid...
They gross me out.
They showed that stupid strategy card game. You can talk about that since that is totally not my purview at all.
You're talking about the...
yeah, the Elder Scrolls...
Elder Scrolls
what was
Legends?
It? Yeah, was that what it was called?
Yeah. Well, they didn't... I was kind of excited, because the way he was describing it, I have a mobile phone that's a smartphone, and I do play a lot of those stupid little strategy card games, because when I have downtime anywhere, like at work or waiting in a parking lot for a store to open or whatever, I'll sit there and play those games. And it sounded exciting, but then they show a trailer that shows you absolutely fucking nothing about it. So you're left wondering, okay, yeah, it's a strategy card game, but is it, the normal kind, where you just make your deck and that's your strategy, or do you actually use some strategy to play the deck? I don't know. Nothing was given about it, really.
I'm the only guy in 2015 who doesn't have a smartphone, so I have no real clue how these games could even run.
Well, one thing that they did make clear to me is that it's not available on the Windows Phone, and I made the mistake of getting a Windows Phone.
Yeah, bummer.
Don't get a Windows Phone. It's unsupported completely.
Maybe we could get an iPad and it'd be on that, because there seems to be a lot of crossover.
Oh, I'm sure it would be.
I
still don't want an Apple product, but I might have to get one, and that sucks.
Something to think about, I guess.
That's the saddest thing about this Bethesda E3 conference was everything is all Apple and
damn.
But the Elder Scrolls Legends, they did indicate that that's on Android, but all the Fallout stuff is on Apple.
So yeah,
I'm against Apple's business practices.
I might want to go and borrow. This sounds pathetic. I might want to borrow my mom's app, her iPad that we bought for her last year, and see how that goes, and maybe decide off of that if we want to get one. But yeah, I don't know. They showed a bunch of crappy art, and if it wasn't at the Bethesda conference, I wouldn't have gone, oh look, an Elder Scrolls card game. I'd have been like, okay, look, fantasy shit floating on my screen.
Well, yeah.
I mean, there was no substance to that announcement.
Yeah, they just showed a bunch of stills of some of their characters.
And while we're talking about things lacking
They
substance,
didn't even show the cards or the
No,
layout
they
of the
didn't,
card
so-
game. Like, there was no gameplay for that.
like I couldn't see anything about what this game would be like at all. So
Yeah,
my interest
nothing.
in it is nil. And the only reason I'm even like, oh hey, look, that might, maybe, I don't know, it's just fantasy bullshit, but who knows? The only reason I even give it that much credit is because of Gwent. CD Projekt, make a fucking separate Gwent game. Damn you, I would
Yeah, they
buy
probably
it.
could make
You
an app for
glorious
that.
bastards, release it on GOG. I will pay you for it. I love that game.
Yeah. Gwent addiction. But we're not on CD Projekt.
I
which
know.
we love.
Well, no, I canvass this ahead of time saying I can babble about whatever I want.
True.
As long as there's any kind of plausible segue. If you've read my guides, you know that I
We
will
did get
say...
distracted earlier and talking about Mass Effect.
I know. You know. If you've read my guides, you know that I will say, now, our goal is to go here, but all these places along the way, we might as well clear them out, because reasons. So that's kind of how this little chat is going. We're talking about the Bethesda conference, but if we kind of swerve into a realm where I can mention how awesome CD Projekt is and how I would have their virtual babies if I could. I don't even know what that would entail. CD Projekt is great. And see, I made a pointless segue just to show you that I can and will make pointless segues.
Yeah.
Right, but on to other crap at that conference that lacked any substance. The Elder Scrolls Online. Congratulations, you released the game on consoles. I've actually heard not bad things about it on consoles. Maybe the fact that you can just spend $60 on it and not pay a subscription makes people go, oh look, this isn't a complete dog turd. I will overlook its faults and have some fun in this open world MMO. Right? But yeah, the game's out. This is not new. This did not need to be at this conference at all.
Well, they didn't give very much time to.
No, the best part about all this useless crap they showed is that they realized that it was useless crap and gave it about 2 minutes. And then got on to the next awesome thing. And so shall we. The next awesome thing, Dishonored. No gameplay, that I don't think there was any. It was just a cutscene.
Pretty much.
You can play as a female protagonist.
There was some. I mean...
Well, I just think that was all CG, wasn't it? Just, well, maybe not.
No.
Maybe not video, but I don't think that was actually anyone playing or based off of...
Well, maybe not, but...
The game.
A lot of the stuff that they showed Emily doing is stuff that you probably can do in the game.
Well, yeah, but...
So, the smoke jumping and all that, that's in Dishonored.
So, yes, you can play as a male or female protagonist, which is awesome, because as we talked about...
You cannot switch between the two.
No.
Once you choose, you are stuck with that, and they have different storylines.
But
so, it's got replay value.
The game looks awesome, from what we've seen. Okay, the game really didn't look awesome, because it looked like a trailer. But the first Dishonored was supposed to be really good, and even though I haven't played it, which is one of my many gaming sins...
You played it a little.
I saw you play it a lot more than I played it myself. I have it on the PS3 and the Xbox 360. It is coming out on the PS4 with all the good stuff.
A remaster with all the DLC.
Let the whining begin. Actually, no. Fucking shut the fuck up. I love remasters. If you don't like remasters, cry a fucking river. No one cares about your opinion. You're an idiot. So,
well, they're entitled to their opinion.
They're entitled to their opinion.
Also entitled to be wrong.
But you're not forced to buy it. So I know that's some people view that as a cop-out argument, but I just think they say, "Oh, that's a stupid argument," because you can't think of a legitimate answer because it's true. So yeah, more games on more systems. Good. Okay. Doesn't hurt you. If you think that it's taking away from development time of other new games, you don't understand how remasters are made. So again, shut up, go in the corner, put the dunce hat on, and don't talk until you understand more about the industry.
Or stop being ignorant and actually look stuff up.
Or I will give you the imaginary iPad that I wished I had, so you can look up how remasters work. And then, when you educate yourself, you will realize that they might not be for me, because I already bought the game, so I don't need it again, but other people might like it, and it rounds out a library. So, Anyways, I was trying to put a segue in there for the iPad again, because we were on a good point to segue, but then we veered off, so I wanted to veer back. Fallout Shelter.
Oh, we're on. I thought we were still going to talk about this.
Oh, do you have anything more to say about it?
Um,
I planted the seed for the segue, so it will germinate later. Nocturnia wants to say more about Fallout or Dishonored 2.
this. Well, I was excited about the definitive edition because it means I'll get the DLC and I'll be able to play it in my room.
Oh yeah, on your own PS4.
Yeah, and finally finish it. I didn't get all that far, because it was on the Xbox 360, and I can't remember what else came out around that time. Saints Row.
Oh yeah, we did get those at the same
Saints
day.
Row distracted me from it, and I never got back to it. But Haeravon's a console hog most of the time because he has to be for writing.
Yeah,
but now I have a PS4 in my own room, so I can play it.
Do you want to just go and tell the story behind that? Why we became a 2 PS4 household?
Well,
for no good reason.
It's mostly my story, so I probably should.
Okay, go for it. I don't want to mansplain for you.
Haeravon got a... mansplain. Haeravon got a contract to write about The Witcher 3. And I knew exactly what that meant. It meant I was not going to be able to play The Witcher 3 at all for months. And I love Geralt. I love The Witcher. So I started thinking about it too much, and it made me so sad that I had to go and use my tax refund to go buy a PlayStation 4 and pre-order The Witcher 3. Of course, after I buy the PS4, our game dealers from one of the game stores that we go to are going into the Walmart that we were leaving. At the same time, I'm walking out, clutching my PS4, and he goes, "Are you serious right now?" And I just had a deer in the headlights look. I know it. And he even offered to open the store if I wanted to take it back into Walmart and return it. But they didn't have a Last of Us bundle. So screw them.
Yeah, it's like our game dealer. It was like our crack dealer found us buying from someone else.
Well, that's how I meant. Okay, when I tell this story to my coworkers and stuff, that's what I've been referring to them as, is our game dealers. And yeah, I do equate them with like drug dealers. But we're not addicted to games. No.
No.
The PlayStation 4 was a very impulsive buy, though. I was standing in the Walmart looking at it and going, I'm not going to be able to play The Witcher 3. And then I bought it.
Do you regret it so far?
No.
Okay. So all's well that ends well?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of shitty because, I used to just write for a hobby because I didn't have much money in college. And instead of just buying every new game that I wanted, I would write guides about the games I had, and it would extend them. And then new games would go on sale, and the process would repeat. But, yeah, just recently, now people want to pay for me to write guides for them. So it stopped being a bad hobby instantly because somebody gave me some money. And now it is a budding career.
But it also means Nocturnia has to go get her own PlayStation 4 like she did.
Yeah, so
if I want to play.
Sometimes, and see, now I just had to buy a new laptop because my old one is a piece of shit, and its operating system is just having a case of the repeat corruptsies. So I had to drop some money on that. We had to buy a PS4. So so far, I don't think we've come out positive from this job.
It hasn't been net positive.
So,
but I used refund money to buy my PlayStation 4.
So, but yeah, tangent, seed. Oh, look at that! The Fallout Shelter seed has sprouted, and now we can talk about it.
Oh, look at that.
Amazing.
You put it off screen for a little bit, you come back, and it's grown. That's a Terraria reference, though.
Oh yeah, Terraria. Let's not get onto a Terraria kick, except to say that Terraria is
addicted.
Fucking great. I love it.
It's
Buy
crack.
it.
It's crack.
Anyways, Fallout Shelter. Apparently what you will not have to do is take time off screen for the game to count down for your next action.
Yeah, instantaneous on a mobile game.
Bad
That's
news,
weird.
it's only on iOS, right?
Yeah. As far as I understand, it's only Apple.
I got a comment about that. Someone shared me something. Oh, no, it was the app. The app is going to be on Android, too. So,
The Pip-Boy app?
yeah.
Okay.
So, Fallout Shelter. Shit, I want to play it. But 1, I need to be working on The Witcher 3. 2, I have no Apple devices in my house with which to play it. But, of course, my impulsive response was, how much do iPads cost?
Yeah.
So, really interested in that. That would be hellaciously fun. I don't usually dig mobile games, but that was the first one. I know, yes, Terraria is also on mobile device. That's not the point. Not mobile only.
Probably a good thing that's not on a Windows phone.
If I could get Fallout Shelter on my PC, I would just suck it right up. I'd be fucking around with it right now. I guarantee.
I hope they have a port later.
But so yeah, it looked awesome. You are the overseer. You build your own vault. You can. This is rare for a Bethesda game. You can have your vault dwellers can have sex and make more vault dwellers, and there's actually some innuendo for it. Remember Fallout 3's sexual innuendo? Okay,
Let's go
honey,
take a nap next to
I'm gonna go sleep in this bed. Thank you for paying me.
Yeah, and then you lay next to the person and sleep, like literally sleep.
Now at least New Vegas would have a black screen, and they'd even have the voice actor saying
that's
something.
That's not Bethesda.
It was just Chandler Bing having sex with your character in a black screen. It was just weird.
Creepy.
Yeah, but whatever. At least they alluded to it. And there are microtransactions.
In the Fallout Shelter, though, the only microtransaction is you can buy lunchboxes to get random loot. Which you get the lunchboxes without buying them, too. So you just get more. You can buy more if you want. But it's not the kind of loot that you absolutely must buy these lunchboxes for.
Now, the H in Haeravon is for hypocrite, because I hate microtransactions. But for some reason this doesn't bother me, and I can't quite put my finger on why. Maybe because it's not progression-based. Maybe
it won't really affect gameplay all that much.
Well, I mean, you do get...
They even said, we specifically designed this so it can be pretty much free. Like, actually it is free unless you want to spend that little bit of money to buy these
Well, your vault can get raided, and not by other players, I don't think. I don't think there's
raiders.
An online component. You can have
it's
malfunctions. You can have...
They specifically said it's completely offline.
You can have, like, rad roach attacks and infestations. So I wonder if there is a game over, but it'd still be kind of crappy if things are coming around destroying all your stuff every 5 minutes because you don't have, the rocket launching auto turret.
I imagine they probably make it so that until you have some kind of defensive mechanism that you won't be inundated with it, they probably balance that out.
I don't know. So maybe the microtransactions aren't benign like my first impression is. I don't know. I would play it, but I don't have means to at the moment. But so for the record, I hate microtransactions, but I don't know why this just doesn't, off the top of my head, it doesn't bug me. Is that fair? Am I a complete hypocrite douche?
Not complete.
I'm kind of... I don't know. Whatever. Yeah. Nocturnia is reading something. She posted on my Facebook page for the... Not my actual, but for the guides and stuff I do. You want to read it?
No, I was just... I'm trying to read the person's response.
Well, I'm gonna read his response because it's hilarious. I'm gonna give you a shout out, dude. So if you want to read your part...
He may not want his name put on it, but you can...
That's fine. I won't say his name, but there's like 3 people who watch... or who follow my Facebook page and like 10 who watch my videos.
Right.
So I don't think he's...
And thank you to every 10.
Exposed. Yeah, I love you guys. I know I haven't been doing anything to justify you even watching what you do.
Just call him AS.
Yeah. But Thanks for looking at my stuff when you do. It's great. Anyways, let me get to this. Enough pandering to you guys. I'm sucking up to Bethesda enough. I don't need to suck up to the 3 people who watch this. Okay, this is what Nocturnia said. Oh, wait, you're giving me permission to speak for you, aren't you? Because you don't want to?
I mean, I could read it.
Do you want to read it? Because I feel Anita has raised my consciousness, and now I feel like I shouldn't colonize your conversation.
In response to a tweet by Anita where she talks about the gratuitous violence in Doom, I said, also I was cheering wildly at the bodies in Doom being violently ripped apart, and I have girl parts. Anita does not speak for all women, just herself, which is fine for her to dislike it all she wants, but she tries to denigrate others for liking stuff she doesn't. Stuck-up twat is all she is. She can keep her stupid, ambiguous, puffball, unidentifiable protagonist and stop trying to remove my ability to play a big, burly marine that rips demon heads into little, glorious, gory pieces.
Nocturnia, ladies.
That's my opinion.
Yeah, because they say, oh, you know, Gamergate is inherently misogynistic, and, you know, they kind of try and... They complain about other people taking other people's voices and colonizing their conversations, but yet they're like, no, we speak for everybody, everyone should feel this way, and I bet you're a shill or a sellout, or you have internalized misogyny for not agreeing with them, right?
No.
No?
No.
So they're
I
wrong?
hate that they speak for me. Only person who can speak for me is me. Fuck everyone else. I speak for me. Stop trying to take my voice.
So, what kind of trauma, what kind of patriarchal oppression made you like all this gratuitous gore in video games?
None. I just like ripping things apart.
But not really.
I don't know about that. I haven't done it.
Okay. AS commented, and this is a brilliant comment. You know who you are, dude. But just for safety reasons, not that anyone watches this or looks at my page, except for the faithful few who are too fucking awesome to be contained otherwise. You know who you are. Anyways, let me read your comment to Nocturnia, which is great. Clearly, this is all internalized, misogynistic, self-loathing implanted in your precious femaleness by the patriarchy. Your girl parts should make you want to only play Smurf Quest or Fluffy Unicorn Adventures in Safety Land. I love that. Fluffy Unicorn Adventures in Safety Land.
That is brilliant. That's brilliant.
That is awesome.
Especially the Safety Land. That's what got me.
I mean, Fluffy Unicorn Adventures is fine, but once you throw the in Safety Land, it takes it to another level.
If I have a big fucking gun that I'm using to blow up Fluffy Unicorns...
I need to make a meme.
Can I have that game? Can somebody make that game for me? Just like...
Diablo 3 already did.
Oh, right. Yeah, they did. Well, I don't have a big fucking gun.
But I need to make a meme. Just find some stupidly overly cute unicorn. Somehow make it fluffy. And just make a cover for Fluffy Unicorn Adventures in Safety Land. Dude, if I can appropriate that, let me know. Because that would just be a lovely post.
Is Smurf Quest a real thing? Because that sounds like porn.
I don't want to know. I don't just... Well, you know, Smurf Quest is guilty of tokenism, so...
Oh, right.
Well,
yeah, because Smurfs, they have one. They have Smurf
Which is funny because, you know, people complain about The Witcher 3. They were going... They should have just thrown more dark people in there. Because tokenism is better than nothing, right?
Yeah, but then if there's tokenism, they're mad.
Okay, so it should have been... I don't know. See, this is where you get to the point where you can't even create the world the way you want it. You have to... And I know...
pander to a bunch of assholes.
I know they think this is a good thing.
That are never happy. They're never happy. There's no pleasing them. Fuck you, SJWs. Let's just be able to tell our own fucking narratives, and if you don't like it, don't fucking buy it. That's all there is to it.
I doubt most of them play video games anyways, but I don't want to speak for you, SJWs. But they seem to think that they get to infuse their ideology into everything. And it's not even just like, if it had merit, that's fine. But it's like, they want to count and quantify the color of every character in a game and go, okay, is this meeting our demographic requirements? You know what?
God forbid you have anything happen to anything that might have a vagina.
I did. I read an article.
Oh, you can cut men apart, but women are sacrosanct.
I read an article shared by Anita, where a guy was like, there's no such thing as Polish mythology, or we don't know any of it anymore, so you can't say it's based off of that. Does it fucking need to be? It can be based off of a Polish guy's fantasy world, right? But whatever. And he criticized one of the common defenses that it's set in medieval Poland. And I'm a history minor. There probably weren't very many dark people in Poland in the 11 or 1200s. Unless, of course, you meant, the Mongols who would come later. Or the Huns who passed through. But I don't think that's quite the right color that they're looking for.
No. No.
So they said, he said something like, and I'm sorry, dude, that I'm paraphrasing if I take this a little bit out of context, or I don't say it exactly right. You were complaining about how they could have made an excuse for some dark-skinned merchant to be there, and I'm just like, okay, so frickin' tokenism.
Yeah.
Right? Just shoehorn this dark character into the game because then it will have one more dark person and it'll be less bad. Why? Why does that make it any better? I mean, it just seems like so pointless. But geez, we're going off on a tangent again. Is this a tangent worth going off on?
Disclaimer: if they had had dark merchants, we wouldn't have cared.
I mean, I don't care one way or another. It's just it's just a game.
To them being there. I am opposed to people throwing a fit and saying their narrative doesn't fit what I want it to be.
And it's like, so screw you.
Not your narrative. Make your own fucking game.
Well, they can't build anything. They just critique it.
They only want to knock it all down.
And they use double standards. They contradict their own arguments.
Yeah, there's no pleasing them because one thing that they say they want, you give it to them, they say, no,
it's not done the right way or not enough.
That's the other way. No, it's bad still. Like Anita's fucking list of what makes a good female protagonist. You put that in a game, and all of a sudden, it's a man with tits.
Yeah, so...
yeah, okay. You are unpleasable.
Fuck
off. Go play Puffball Unicorn Fluffy Safety Land.
But, I mean, when they critiqued Mass Effect, it was like, it's a man with tits, the dialogue options are the same either way, it's like... You would totally bitch if they were different. You'd be like, they're representing women this way, and men this way, and look at the difference in representation and in entertainment. I know exactly what the shit you would say, you pieces of crap.
In a way, they did represent them differently.
Yeah, one of them actually had a character.
Jennifer Hale is fucking badass, and whoever did the voice for Male Shep, I think he was falling asleep while he was doing it. And was not badass on any level. He was boring.
And I know, Jennifer Hale, that you did voices for that shitty little Legend of Zelda, I'm going to violate my own tropes, ideal video game that Anita masturbated up in her wet dream of retardation. But I don't know what that was about. I know that Jennifer Hale voiced it. I don't know why.
Money?
I don't know. Money. Maybe... Hopefully not. Maybe she agrees with the bogus cause of I didn't look it up enough, but just so stupid. I'm not gonna critique you, Jennifer Hale. I love you. Just maybe next time,
look into the project.
Try and not join up with somebody who is trying to shit on everybody who plays the video games that you have been in, that loves them and loves your work. And I don't know. And see, I'll just say this, and we'll try and get off this because see now I'm already gonna have to title Beth Conference and SJW bitching. It's been a long time coming, folks. We've been meaning to bitch about this for a while. Sorry we couldn't separate it for you guys, but like I said, I gave you a caveat at the beginning that I can tangent all I want. Until you show that there's any evidence whatsoever that representations of characters in video games have an impact on real-world crime, real-world misogyny, real-world whatever, I don't give a shit about your opinion. It's essentially you just going, I don't like it. And fine, I don't like it. But that's a subjective thing, and nobody needs to cater to you.
And no, anecdotal, occasional, like, one incident happening where somebody's like, oh yeah, this makes me do this. Yeah, that doesn't fucking count.
It made me feel uncomfortable. Well,
anecdotal evidence is non-evidence.
Well, too fucking bad. You know what? Someone coughing without covering their mouth makes me feel uncomfortable. But, you know, I'm not going to go on a cruise. But you guys totally would do that shit, wouldn't you? That's why we have shit like manspreading.
Manspreading?
You don't know what that is?
No.
It
sounds vile, though.
Men have testicles, right?
Oh, never mind.
And when we sit down,
I think I get it.
Our legs spread.
That's enough.
Because it's more comfortable. So apparently we take up more than our fair share of space on trains. And so that's called manspreading, and it is now it is a crime. It is a social faux pas. It is evil. If you have a penis, too fucking bad. Stop taking up more than your fair space on the train. This is totally a tremendously huge and important issue.
As long as everybody gets to sit down, who gives a fuck?
So,
everybody wants to sit down.
Because I get more space.
You can also stand up.
Because I get more space. It's not equal.
I'll fucking knock your knees together if I need more space.
It's just the difference between equity and equality, and it's...
Trains are scary anyway.
Yeah, so, and another thing... I mean, there's just this huge double standard. I think I made a Grand Theft Auto video when they got Target to pull the game from the shelves based on bullshit.
Wasn't that in Australia?
Yeah. Australia, Target, or whatever. And, you know, now Anita's bitching and, Polygon... Fuck you, Polygon, you're a piece of shit. Jeez, I can't believe people go to you. With that Witcher 3 thing, where you essentially ranted for 4 or 5 paragraphs at the end of your review. Air quotes to go with that, because I can't video air quotes into my mic, unfortunately. But I just... Your review... There, that's as good as I can get it. You complain about a whole bunch of irrelevant shit, and... I mean, just case in point for why you guys are just so absurd. It's all a double standard, and that's what pisses me off the most. I've been playing this game for over 240, 250 hours at this point, and I have killed exactly 1 female humanoid the entire game. And it was an elf, leader of a Scoia'tael group.
Oh, yeah.
And that was optional.
I forgot about her! I was, like, racking my brain with... What female could you possibly have killed?
Now, if you include sirens and,
swamp hags?
Succubi and swamp hags, then there are monsters. But, you know, that's the exact problem. It's violence against women, right? When there is not even a scene of it, but they mention a plot point from the Bloody Baron quest, which I'm not going to get into. Except it involves spousal abuse. They don't show anything. They mention it. But Geralt beats the crap out of this guy. And he beats the crap out of a couple other dudes. There are non-optional fistfights where Geralt gets upset over the conduct of male characters in the game and violently beats the crap out of them. But this game is all about violence against women. And it's just like, it doesn't fucking matter if there's any violence against men, does there? You cherry pick that, you go, who cares? Right?
Well, men are expected to be violent.
I mean, it's so...
Because men are mindless animals that can't control themselves, and we need to, Wait a minute. I'm sounding like a certain group in the Middle East, only I'm talking about men instead of women.
Yeah, I mean, it is discrimination. It's
oppression.
You guys aren't against sexism.
To try to tell men that they're stupid, they can't think for themselves, they're incapable of handling themselves around women... That is stupid. It's oppression. That's oppression.
It's sexism. It's
sexist.
You guys...
And it's a violation of human rights to say, you can't exist as you are because it's offensive to women. No. I'm not offended by men being men, and I think gender actually is pretty fluid. I, myself, am not all that girly. But, seriously, just... attributing to all men who identify as male, because, you know, it's only the cisgendered males that are bad. It's ridiculous.
Cisgendered.
I don't need to add that.
You don't need... Okay. I will. White males. Maybe that's why you don't agree with them, because you're not very girly. You might have... Remember, testosterone damages your brain? Maybe you have too much testosterone somehow, and it has damaged your brain.
Given the size of my boobs, I'm going to have to go with I have a shit ton of estrogen and not all that much testosterone. So, yeah.
But...
And I also have major hips going on.
I mean, it's just... It's a ludicrous position they've taken. They contradict themselves. They cherry pick. I just hope other people see through this shit, because...
Stop giving her awards! She's a horrible person! She advocates for fucking human oppression.
Yeah, I mean, they're sexist. They want to censor people. They've taken their opinions, and they're essentially con men trolls.
Yeah.
Because instead of going after things that are really all that important, that could actually change things and improve people's lives, that actually affect society in real ways, they troll situations that have a perception as being dominated by a certain demographic to get people who aren't even part of that demographic to campaign against it and give them money.
Yeah. It's all about money.
And it's actually, if you are a legitimate female gamer, it is worse for you. Because, you know, there are cretins in the gaming industry. There are gamers. And I can imagine that people just start going, you know, and viewing females as the enemy because they see people rallying around people like Anita. And best case in point, for this hypocrisy, getting on that again. When Dragon's Crown came out, do you remember this? GameSpot, had a review where one of the things they complained about was the ridiculous proportions on the sorceress.
Right.
They didn't complain about the dwarf, who's wearing the least clothes of any character in that game.
Or Mr. Babyface Warrior.
But only by a hair, because the Amazon is wearing almost nothing too. They didn't complain about, the warrior, who is pretty much a Dorito on top of little legs.
Yeah. With a baby's face.
I mean, just take all those masculine proportions and stretch them sideways, and that's what this character is.
Everybody is ridiculously proportioned, except for the elf, although you could argue that she is too, because she is tiny.
Yeah, she's kind of like a lolly.
And a lot of the time when people talk about elves, they call them
But they complained about this stuff in their review.
While
and then,
also having that banner that was
they had
just the sorceress's tits, pretty much.
The sorceress tit fucking a skeleton skull. And that was their video review banner, their thumbnail. Yeah. And I was just like, are you serious? You will complain about it in the review, but use it as clickbait for the review. Unreal, you people. So, okay, now... Let's get to Fallout 4 before we tune everybody off completely. If you're still listening, you are troopers. Sorry, that rant has been a long time in coming. Fallout 4, they started out by showing the male character in the mirror of polymorphing. That's just what I'm going to call it. Maybe mirror transfiguration. And I was just like, because I heard the rumor that you can only play a male character. There was a bogus leak. We can now say it's bogus. About the only thing I got right was that it was in Boston. Boston. That's one thing I can't wait for, by the way. For ghouls and Fallout.
Oh, I so hope
I'm from Boston.
Hey,
boss.
I so want
hot dog.
I so want them to have a Boston accent.
I kind of do too.
I want it.
If you're from Boston, I don't hate you. I just the accent sometimes. I don't know. There are certain people like I'm gonna get some, and I'm not even gonna say it because I'm just gonna get so much crap. I'm just gonna be all kinds of bad. No, I will say it because now it's copping out. If there's a difference between New York and Boston accent, I'm sorry, it doesn't seem like it to me.
Oh,
and there are people
so wrong.
There are people.
You're so wrong.
I might be. I don't know.
You're so wrong.
I'm not good with accents, but there are people like Vince Russo who talks with that northeastern kind of accent, and when I hear people talking in that accent, I just negative associations. That's all I can say. I'm sorry. I just think about people, and you guys don't deserve it. I love you all if you're there and you're watching this, and I don't mean any hate, but I just something in me kind of goes. I'd love it for the characterization of the area, But something in me also kind of cringes at the thought of everyone speaking with a Bostonian accent.
Well, I mean, the main character didn't seem to.
But the ghouls totally can.
Yeah, ghouls need to, please. Because their ghoul voices are awesome already, but then you throw that Boston accent, it'll fit. It'll just be like a glove.
Do I do a good ghoul voice, do you think?
I don't know, I don't remember it.
You didn't pay attention to my ghoul voice.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty good.
Do you think this would... Hey, Bethesda, I'd love to do voice work. Hire me, huh? I can't do the Boston accent, though, probably.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
seriously.
Not at all.
But I tried my darndest to do a ghoul voice for you guys. I'm not sucking up. Yeah, they were in the mirror transfiguration. They showed the male character. I was like, oh, please, please, please let you play the female.
Yeah.
And then they switched, and Todd Howard's like, 2 seconds, yeah, you can play female too. Back to the male, you don't give a shit. And then they showed, how dark your character can get, the different brow ridge you can essentially Neanderthal him from what I saw. It looked cool. They didn't show us enough.
Also, you can make your nostrils so they're not even. I don't know if you caught that, but
Yeah. And you can move your nose to the side,
Yeah.
and I guess you can give yourself a nice broken nose. And while your spouse comments on them,
yeah. Oh, I always thought your nose was cute.
but so yeah, it looked good from what I saw, but we didn't see hardly enough options. Nocturnia, take it away with what you need to see. I think you might have already mentioned it, but now's the time.
Yeah, I think I did mention it, but I want multiple hair colors.
And not just like
No,
orange and blonde and light and brown and browner and brown 2 and brown 5 and brown 6 and no, she wants blue and
I want
neon.
blue or purple or neon green or neon yellow. I actually had a neon yellow haired character at some point. And then I had that blue haired character. I like my hair colors to be insane. And I know that might not fit with Mr. Retro, or, well, I say Mr. Retro because I'm going to play the male. I already know that. I know it's not in keeping with his house and all that in the suburbia, but come on. Let me have it.
Well, maybe you have to choose a certain hair color at the beginning. It wouldn't make sense because in Fallout 3... you could start out in the vault with whatever hair. You could have that spiky punk blue hair. And it's like,
right,
your dad would never let you get away with that.
The neon yellow, I think, was
so
Oblivion.
But maybe if they let you style it when you wake up from Cairo, I'll get to that.
Well, I don't know.
When you get to the world, maybe.
No, they said the one that you make in the mirror is the one you'll play.
Well, no. I mean, but maybe you'll get custom options, like be able to go to a barber or something later.
Oh, maybe, but I doubt they'll put the colors in there because... why do you do that to me? Every game that comes out refuses to give me those options. Why can't I just have a color slider? Come on. You had one in Oblivion. Why can't you keep
They had it in Fallout 3, too.
Yeah.
But not in Skyrim.
Yeah.
Bethesda, I beg you, please give her a color slider. Saturation, hue, all that. I know it's work, but please... please do it, because if you don't do it, I'm going to hear about it. And if you don't do it, and then we go into the wastelands of Boston or the Commonwealth or whatever, and we see a raider with a bright pink mohawk, there will be hell to pay, and you will be doing me harm. So please, Bethesda, for my sake, please, give a color
You had
slider.
them with the bright pink mohawks in Fallout 3, so give me that again, please.
Okay, but you can play the male or the female. They didn't spend much time on the female. I was kind of, all the gameplay was the male, I guess. They're catering to their audience.
Give me a customization video later.
Which is fine, because pay attention, SJWs. It's trivial, right? Both characters are in there. Doesn't matter if the male got more screen time in this one gameplay demo. Okay, because that wasn't really even the focus for most of it. But your character is voiced. Some people are like, oh, that breaks my immersion. I want to pretend it's me. No, I love voices.
I don't want to pretend it's me.
I want a voice. I want my character to speak. It makes me feel more into it. Personal preference. If you don't like it, you don't like it. That's my opinion. I love that I have a voice.
I think it feels more immersive into the world.
I do too.
Your characters voiced. And we've had a lot of voiced characters recently, so I'm getting kind of spoiled, and I don't think I want to go back to a silent protagonist.
So, The Elder Scrolls 6, Hammerfell, okay? It's going to be Hammerfell, right, guys? Wink, wink, come on. Make voiced protagonists. I'd love it. Just another wish for you guys. But let's stop wishing and get to the rest of the Fallout 4 because there's a ton of crap.
Oh my. Your ability to build your fucking... What are they called?
House,
your
settlement.
community, your settlement, your own defense system. Even they showed that they had made several monitors and placed them up so that they form a Pip-Boy.
Set up turret systems. Yeah, they did do that, didn't they? Them crazy bastards.
Yeah.
Oh, right. While we're talking, let's segue. That Doom cradle level thing, I forgot what it was called. Do you remember what it was called? Snap map. That looked awesome too. Lots of creative content from Bethesda. I am digging it.
They said, I think it was Todd Howard who said that they had been inspired by Minecraft and the fact that those kinds of build your own kind of thing games that have been out they just blow up. They're addictive. If you add that element, that's a plus. That's not a takeaway. And they even mentioned that if you don't want to do that, you don't have to. So it's not required to build your own settlement.
Oh, I just had a thought. Now,
you don't have to.
Before Terraria, I'm late to like every gaming trend pretty much. But after Terraria, I'm really like, man, I kind of dig this world building, mindless little... So yeah, I mean, I always enjoyed character creation. But in a lot of RPGs, the whole build your stronghold thing was like, okay, you did this quest, now you get the stronghold, now you pick 5 dialogue options, and you get to choose your drapes. That's pretty much what we've done. This is on a whole new level, and I like it, but I just had a thought. What if they made like a Terraria type game? 2D sprites in a wasteland. Fallout type game.
Well, that's a little bit in keeping with the Fallout shelter.
Kind of, but I mean,
But they said that their big inspiration was like XCOM for that.
Yeah, XCOM. New XCOM game's coming out, by the way. Only for PC.
Ah, lame.
Yep, so I won't be checking that out unless it's on GOG, but I'm glad to see a new XCOM is out. I don't have to play every one. Maybe it'll get ported at some point, but...
Well, at least that game would be playable on a PC pretty easily.
Well, maybe with my new laptop.
No, I mean, like, I could see it running on a PC.
Oh, yeah. It's not like, why did they take this console franchise and make it PC? No, it's definitely a PC franchise, so it's hard to get too salty about that, except for, I want to play it and I want to own a disc!
I want to play it in my bedroom.
But, yeah, you can customize your guns crazy, your armor, build a little doghouse for dog meat. It's not the dog, alright? There is no dog in Fallout except for dog meat. Except for that robo-dog they have. But whatever. Dogs in Fallout are dog meat. That is dog meat. It looks just like dog meat. So I will call it dog meat, and so it shall be. And if you can name the dog in the game...
I'm sure you can, but
it will be named
that option.
Dog meat.
It just said dog.
What are you naming your dog?
Dog meat.
Dog meat. If you name your dog anything other than dog meat, you are a heretic.
Yeah.
But,
in Fallout 3, I kept everything, like, all the time. I'd even pick up dishes and forks and spoons and stuff.
everything but bent tin cans.
Yeah. Bent tin cans can go fuck themselves.
Because tin cans you can use to make nuka grenades, but bent tin cans, useless.
Yeah. I'd pick them up, though, and drop them in one big pile. So, I'm wondering, I didn't pay enough attention to the Pip-Boy, but is there carry weight? Because if you have to carry everything, that's going to be troublesome. Yeah. But I imagine you can make storage, because you had storage in Fallout 3. So, as long as I've got storage that I can easily access, that won't be so bad. But I hope there's a big carry capacity or none at all.
I'd love to see it go. I think encumbrance adds a lot of unnecessary fidgeting to the game that I just don't like. And in a game where there's going to be so much customization and fidgeting with the world, with building stuff, I honestly think that this is a game that could do without carry weight or encumbrance.
Maybe they made building materials not have a weight. You know how, like, a lot of the things in The Witcher have negligible weight or no weight.
Well, let's segue into something kind of related, because this is kind of the crux of things. Containers are fine. I've been a pack rat since Oblivion with Bethesda games, and now I look at this and they're like, look, you can use a stove or a pilot light or a car battery or anything to make items. Stuff that you would have tossed away in Fallout 3. Now you have to keep it. You have to keep it all. You have to keep everything because it might be usable to make a weapon.
Did that. That's not a big deal for us. And their example was actually a lamp.
Well, whatever. The point is, you want to store all that stuff, but Bethesda, your games are buggy as crap. Especially when it comes to storage. You start storing too much in a container, and it all turns into a lag fest. You put too much in it, you have to start organizing your containers by type, or else they'll never load. The game will crash if you start carrying too much stuff. This is just what I had with Fallout 3, right? And you put too much stuff in your house, and your house starts crashing when you walk into it during the load screen. Please get this working. If you're going to make us pick up everything in the world, which you already are, it's not my OCD. You are forcing me to do it. I contend that because I want everything. I'm a pack rat, and now you gave me an incentive to do it. You are feeding it. You are fueling it. It is your fault.
So you better be prepared for it.
So,
if that's what your goal is, you better be ready for it.
Please don't. Please sort that out. Please sort that out some way, some shape, some form. Okay? Quality assurance, test it. If your game ever crashes because you are fiddling around in your inventory too much, especially with this new animated Pip-Boy, then you need to fix it.
Yeah.
Okay? I mean, if there's just that much stuff going on, if holding on to every precious thing is now more important than ever, and we're still encountering the same problems we had with Oblivion, with Fallout 3, with Skyrim, that's a problem. So please get that straightened out, right?
Yeah, make sure that's in there.
Also, a minor gripe / wish list. Try and work on the load times the best you can. I went from Bloodborne to The Witcher 3, and load times, I usually am not too crazy about it, but they're killing me. They're killing me now. I went from 45 seconds to over a minute, and if I play Fallout 4 and I'm loading for a minute again, I'm just... please.
He'll cry.
But that's a minor thing. I can survive it, get your inventory stuff fixed out, make sure the game isn't crashing all the time.
Here's a segue. Haeravon crying.
I'm a big man. I don't cry.
Uh-huh. You wail about and flail. While we were watching the conference, something came on there. And we have a running joke where we call Bethesda Bethesda. And as soon as he saw... And, he's exasperated and acting like a child right now. He sees a Yao guy, and he just starts flailing about, and he hits the controller, and we can no longer watch the conference at that time. We had to try to get it back up. So, yay! Confirmation! Bethesda is still Bethesda. And everybody hates the bears in Bethesda. If you've played Bethesda games, you know what we're talking about, because they're always ridiculous.
There are way too many of them. How many bears... Oblivion was actually the least bad about this, but I was always getting mobbed by Yao Guy in Fallout 3, and then...
Always, you turn around and you're like...
In Skyrim, there's always a cave bear smacking me, giving me bone break fever. God damn it, you're annoying. Go away! Now I have to go find a shrine to Talos, because fuck you, you fucking high elves. Talos is Lord. It's the 9 divines. Anyways.
Bethesda.
Stormcloaks for life, dog.
Okay. Enough
but
of that.
Yeah, Yao Guy. Yeah. I mean, Nocturnia is the one who always gets ambushed by Deathclaws, but for me, it's just Yao Guy, and I've had like 3 of them appear just out of nowhere before.
Yeah, the Deathclaw thing. What? Are there Deathclaws in Fallout 4?
Yes, there are Deathclaws. We've seen them already.
I didn't see them.
Oh, you must have missed it then.
I paid attention to almost the entire conference, but I missed that somehow.
We saw Brotherhood of Steel guys, although every time we saw them, they were getting shot at. So that's curious. I hope we don't see any Enclave. That is so played out. I'm tired of it. We saw Raiders. We saw Mole Rats. Yao Gaia, of course. Vertibirds. Yes, it's in Boston. As if there's any doubt. I mean, we saw the shipyard in the trailer.
We've already talked about Boston.
Yes.
So, probably the first enemy I'm going to encounter is a Deathclaw. It's pretty much the first one I encountered in Fallout 3. Oh, my,
Hey, follow my guide and go to the Rivet City.
I did follow your guide, and I still ended up fighting a Deathclaw.
You had the unfortunate luck to run into a
random encounter
outside of that metro. I can't remember the name. Yeah, he wrote the guide. I don't remember every metro.
Did I come... I lost track. I kept coming across Deathclaws all over the place, though. But I think on my Rivet City run, I had to encounter 2 Deathclaws. Because right at the beginning, when you're running along a chain link fence, there's a Deathclaw for me.
Really? That close to the beginning?
Yeah.
Wow.
Right at the beginning. It was the...
No, there is one. There is one right, I'm trying to think of the map, east of Megaton.
It was
between
like
the
right
sewerway station. Yeah, because that Sam Warwick guy can appear. That's the random encounter I always get. I always get that Sam Warwick has merc armor and or leather armor and a sniper rifle. That's the one I always get. You get Deathclaws.
Yeah.
So I get a free sniper rifle and better armor. You get eaten by a Deathclaw.
Yeah.
So.
Every time. Like, every time I do the Rivet City run, it's a Deathclaw.
But you know what? I like that. I really like that. Randomness in the game. You go to the wrong place. You get unlucky.
If I got better things.
Yeah. Maybe, but...
I get Deathclaws everywhere. All my random encounters are Deathclaws.
I hate it when games are so linear and padded that you can't walk into trouble that you can't handle. Stop holding hands. It doesn't make the game more engaging.
Although random encounters do make guide writing more difficult.
Yes, but it also makes guide writing more necessary.
I guess.
Because if the experience was the same every time, and you didn't need to be told what could happen and how to go about things, no one would read it.
Yeah, I mean, getting killed by a Deathclaw at the beginning probably makes people download guides.
So yeah, I will be writing a Fallout 4 guide. 4 gamer guides, hopefully. For myself, definitely. For all of you. So, if you care about quality, you can safely hold off buying that crappy physical copy. I know it's a collector's item, but you're giving them $20-$30 for a piece of crap that's outdated, going to get patched over.
I like the pictures.
I like the pretty pictures. Yeah, sorry, you're so derp. I know it's a collector's thing, but just saying, my guide will be out there if I can at all get it done.
And if it's a formatted guide, it might actually have pictures.
It might even have its own pretty pictures. Ain't that awesome? Best of both worlds. Haeravon quality and pictures.
Although I don't think I'll be writing on this one because I'll be too busy building things and shooting things in the face.
But yeah, more news. The collector's edition comes with a Pip-Boy, which we absolutely must obtain. We both saw that and went, well, we're getting collector's edition.
Yeah, and we're not just getting one.
We're both getting one.
There's no way we're sharing.
We can't share it, yeah. We were able to share the Witcher 3 collector's edition, which was amazing. Just, they give it to you in like a 2-foot by 1-foot box. You're just like, my child. But yeah, we split the stuff before it even came. She wanted the figurine, the amulet. I got the steel book and the art book and the game. And then she bought herself her own copy. So, yeah, we're probably going to do the same with Fallout 4, except we're both going to get our own Pip-Boy and...
Yeah, we're not splitting one, so it's not the same. But...
I know, it's stupid. Why spend more money? Don't pre-order, it hurts the industry. I like swag. Especially for games like this,
For a game you know you're going to like, it's okay. But for a game you're iffy about, stop it.
Yeah, they're... I don't buy too many games new.
I always want to support CD Projekt. So, until their game practices turn into something bad, I will support them. So, I will pre-order CD Projekt games.
So, nice collector's edition, $120. I'll do it.
Especially if I get a Witcher Samuel.
Or Pip-Boy.
Well, I was
You got the
specifically
collector's
talking about-
edition for Fallout 3 too, didn't you? You got the lunchbox and doesn't have a little bobblehead in there, or maybe not?
I didn't. I kept it sealed.
Well, yeah, I know. And I got the deck of cards that were in New Vegas. That was cool.
It took a lot of restraint to keep it sealed.
So, cool stuff. I mean, the game looks amazing, except for the main character. For some reason, I don't know why, but his vault suit just looks horrible.
Yeah, I hope that's just a place marker. Because the vault suits in Fallout 3 actually look like something you'd see somebody wearing. This looks like pasted on plastic. So I don't know what they're doing there.
Yeah,
They're trying to make it look like the cartoon Pip-Boy jumpsuit. Kind of way too much. Like, stop it.
I mean, some of the textures aren't the best in the world.
But it's coming out in 5 months.
Yes,
So
yeah, we'll get to that.
Hopefully they're changing that.
Yeah,
They did show some of the armor customization though.
The textures aren't groundbreaking, but the second they switched it from third person to first person, it was like, okay, that looks much better.
Yeah.
I think the world looks great. I think everybody who is whining about the graphics in Fallout 1, what Fallout game ever had cutting edge graphics? And 2, some perspective, guys. Like, graphics are going to make and break that game.
I think a lot of the graphical issues that, the graphical setbacks, or whatever you want to consider them, I think a lot of it is an art decision.
Maybe.
Because it looked like they were fighting really hard to keep a lot of the art style that you expect from their version of the Fallout game. So, like, they kept a lot of the art style from Fallout 3 in this one.
It did look kind of cartoony compared to Fallout 3, though. Fallout 3 was kind of gritty and gray.
In the suburbia.
Which, both aesthetics appeal to me in their own way, so I'm not really complaining.
When it went to the wasteland aspect,
yeah,
it definitely kept that aesthetic. But with more detail.
But you make your character pre-war, and then you wake up, I'm guessing cryogenic sleep, or some other way you get...
Chirogenic?
Cyrogenic, whatever.
Cryogenic.
Cryo, whatever. I can't say words. Words are hard. I can't even type them right most of the time. But you still read my stuff anyway, so go figure. But,
You wake up 200 years later,
mm-hmm.
in the future, after the bomb drops, you make it into the vault, and I guess cryogenic sleep or whatever. I hope they explain it.
Yep.
I can't really think of any other way that you survive that. He says to the robot, I thought I was only asleep a little while, or I only was out a little while. I think he said out a little while. But, 200 years.
But here's the thing. They had characters in Fallout 3 and New Vegas that were both in kind of suspended animation pods. And the idea presented in both cases was that their body was too degenerated to survive.
Well, maybe this is the one vault that actually had one pod that worked.
I know. I'm just saying. I hope it's explained some way. We're in the Commonwealth, right? So they did have their best technology there. And then in the case of Fallout 3, the guy who was in suspended animation, I don't think ever really cared about getting out in the first place. And in New Vegas, it was kind of a loner billionaire genius who maybe he didn't have all the best money. Maybe I think that was
the best money.
Well,
technology?
Not technology. Yeah. I think they did explain that he miscalculated when the bombs would come. So maybe he just didn't have the time to put it all in place and get the best system running. Who knows? Maybe they'll explain it. I hope they do. And if they don't, we'll just go, well, it's Fallout. They had better technology. Because Fallout is one of those games where if you have Monty Python references and aliens, and you can kind of get away with a little bit more silliness.
Yeah. Speaking of Monty Python references, there's a lot of them in The Witcher 3. I've noticed more than just the rabbit, but I can't think of them offhand. But yeah, that was great. It's in the stars or whatever. The Truth is in the Stars. That quest. You come across a cave entrance where you have to go in that cave, and there's a little snow hare hopping around, and and I think there was blood on the ground and stuff like that. I sat there for like 10 minutes before actually going into the cave because I was like...
You were afraid it was going to get you?
I was like, this rabbit is going to rip me into pieces. I really expected it to attack me. It made me hesitate before I went in there. So.
But yeah, that conference was really good. There are 3 new games and 1 remaster out of that I am really interested in, and I will probably have on my bookshelf at some point. Just a great conference. I don't know how it's going to get shown up. I think nothing short of a Final Fantasy VII remake can even come close. I mean, is there anything...
I'm not even as... I'm excited for one, but I'm not as excited as I would be for Fallout 4.
Yeah, it was just a great conference, and it's never as fun to go back and watch after you've heard other people talk about it, because you know it's going to happen, but yeah, it was a really great conference, and it seems like the winner for this year. I mean, I haven't seen any of the others, obviously, but I can't imagine how they can compete.
Yeah, I don't.
So, good job, Bethesda. The hype train has gone off the tracks and into orbit, and is now passing out of the solar system because it is just crazy.
I'm excited!
And yeah, then the bombshell at the end. Well, we don't want to make you guys wait too long. November 10th, 2015, Fallout 4 comes out. So...
That's still a long time.
We got Dragon Age last November, 2014. We got The Witcher 3 in May. And we're getting Fallout 4.
Best 12 months ever.
Yeah, to all the whiners, you know, next gen has no games. Next gen is fucking amazing, and you guys have no taste.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, that's just my opinion, though. You can disagree. I'm not an SJW. You're not evil if you don't agree with me. See how I work that back in here?
Oh.
See? We're not bona fide amateurs. We cleverly wove the thread of our contempt for these parasites on the industry throughout the entire conference talk. Masterfully done.
Masterbatefully.
Alright. And on that, with that awful pun, we will let you go, because I'm running out of voice, right? Maybe I should just start talking like this.
I think that would make you lose your voice faster.
Yeah, probably. That didn't work at all. Alright, I will see you guys later. Hit me up on Facebook, the Twitter, or just comment here. Do whatever you guys want. I'm always...
Plus.
You cannot shut me up about video games. It's one of the reasons I started writing facts. So, if you have anything to say, don't be a dickhead. I won't be a dickhead back. We can all have fun and talk about what we like and don't like and all that other cool stuff. So, I will see you guys